and Facebook. It's Manuel Godoy from Black Sands, and tonight we're going to be discussing, what it really means to be a black creator in this space that we call the comic and animation industry. How this movement affects that space, and what we need to do, the strategies we need to place, make sure we're prioritizing, as we're getting this momentum. Because watch what's gonna happen, man. You're gonna see Black Panther this, Black Panther that. A lot of money going in on products that are not black owned, and everybody's gonna be buying it up because they want to be pro-black, but ain't none of them people who own that stuff black. So we want to make sure that when we're spending our capital, we're spending it on the people who've been doing high quality stuff in our community, right? Because now we're basically boycotting the industry, right? We want to make sure that we're doing legitimate boycotts. Don't listen to Wendy's saying they're going to give X amount of money to NAACP. They ain't give a damn about us in the first place, right? Just because they throw a donation out there because they feel like they will be pretty much in a bad spot if they were not doing that, right? Does not necessarily mean that they support us. It's like saying I support the federal government because I pay my taxes. No, I support I pay my taxes because I don't want to go to jail. All right, same thing for they put that money into NAACP because they don't want to catch that hell from the liberal apocalypse going on right now. It's like there's daggers flying in every direction, and you just have to be careful about that stuff. So first things first, let's get this going. Let's talk about this. So make sure that everybody has good sound. Can you guys hear me clearly? If you can, leave it in the comment section. And once we get that out of the way, we are going to start moving into this. We're going to be talking about the industry. The industry, because when you have very successful things that make $250 million on licensing, over $1 billion in ticket sales for Black Panther, you think that it made 3 or 4 more black sci-fi fantasy stories, in the last couple of years to ride that wave, right? Just like when they made 300 and they doubled the amount of money they were going to make on that. They rated out $600 million for 300. They were like, you know what? Let's make 12 freaking movies about ancient Greece, right? Because ancient Greece is in, seriously. But when we talk about Wakanda and we talk about African sci-fi or fantasy or whatever, one's good enough. Let's make number 2 maybe 5 years from now. But let's not rush anything. We don't want to risk ourselves, right? So when we see that, right? The first thing we need to understand is that they are extremely reluctant to invest in black creators, all right? There are about 4 people in Hollywood that they go to for all the black stories. They ain't trying to risk anything. They will straight up hire the same 4 dudes to do everything. Same in the comic industry. If you look at the comic industry and look at the black comic books in Marvel, DC, Lion Forge, whatever, 4 dudes. 4 dudes do all the books across rivals. All right, they don't want to risk bringing new black voices to the table so much that they literally bring in rival writers from other companies to write their black books, because that's how much at risk averse they are to bringing in new voices. All right, so when we see that, and then we're out here boycotting people and burning places down and raising hell, we also need to remember that we need to be throwing money at the people who are making the content. Now, this ain't a pitch for me because I already know I got you guys. All right, you guys, I have one of the most loyal bases out there for customers. So this ain't about me right now, but this is about someone like Macchiato right here, who is making his stuff, right? He's making his comic books. And right now, it's for because he doesn't have like a huge social media following, but people aren't sharing his stuff as well. We need to get power in there, all right? His series is long. He has a lot of episodes on Webtoons for all you guys. He's signing exclusively on our BSP app. He's done amazing things making an alternative to Power Rangers for our kids. And I personally think that that's something that we need to have, right? We're buying all this merchandise supporting, you know, Japanese IPs and stuff like that when we should be supporting our own IPs. What the heck? You know, so I'm gonna turn it over to him. I'm gonna let him speak his piece, and then we're gonna continue this conversation. I want to talk to you guys, see what you guys think about this freaking industry right now and how they're gonna play their little, oh no, we're part of the movement too. Black Lives Matter. And really it's about, I don't want to catch that hell from Black Twitter when they come and roast my ass because I ain't say something fast enough. They don't want to get that. So they out there trying to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make sure I give X amount of money to, what's it called? I know I'm worth $30 billion, but I'll give $500,000 to the NAACP. Ain't I a good guy now? Get out of here with that mess. All right. Hotep Anthony, go and tell them about what's going on with your campaign right now, and tell them why you got into this in the first place. What's the story? What's the origin, man?
Oh, for sure. Thank you for that great intro. And he's right, by the way. A lot of these companies are just doing things and making donations to I guess, Black industries and Black companies just so they can say they did their part. And I also don't think it's enough. But in regards to how I got started, I mean, I've always kind of loved writing, and I looked out there. I was consuming mostly Japanese media, like you said. I prefer manga to comics, but throughout all of it, it's very noticeable that there are very few Black writers. And it's not because we don't have the talent or the ability. It's really just because, in a sense, we are kind of shut out from that industry, which is ironic. It's not really ironic. It's sad because for both manga and comics, we are probably some of the, I would actually say we are the biggest promoters of that content. You look at YouTube channels like RDC World and Clive Evans, there's a bunch of them, H&H Bros, a lot of people who are pushing manga and they push comics and they're the makers of the memes and they make these things popular. And Black culture and comics and manga are so interwoven to such a high degree that it really is kind of sad that we don't have our own stake in that. And that's kind of what kind of drove me and me and my partner, who's the co-writer, the co-story writer with me, to say we want to make this our own thing. We want to make it long, we want to make it high quality, and we want to show people that, yeah, we can do just as well as these people who have the funds overseas and whatnot. So yeah, and that's what we did. This is our Kickstarter for Macchiato. That's the name of our volume of our comic. It is an Italian coffee drink, but it makes sense in the context of the story, which I hope you guys get to read soon. But it is a high quality, fairly long story. And when I say fairly long, we have a total of 11 chapters already done. And this book covers chapters 4 through 11. And the volume 1 covers chapters 1 through 3. And overall, it's a total of maybe a little bit over 300 pages in total that we've completed. And skimming, getting really good reviews as well. We focus on high quality art as well as high quality writing. We're very focused on telling an important story that hits hard, and it's really for all ages. So young, old, everyone can enjoy it.
So yeah, that's really true. What you're talking about, like at the end of the day, you know, you got to reward people who do 300 plus pages of freaking comics. That is an absolutely ridiculous amount of content. It's definitely something that they've been building for years, right? And they're trying to get you all this stuff because they know that, you know, they just want an alternative, man. There's no reason why we should be consumer, like in such a consumer mentality for European and Japanese content. We should consume it just as much as we consume our own. You know, and it shouldn't have to be a story about gangbangers and pimps, right? Or you know, gender fluid Black guy. The one Black guy in the show is gender fluid or whatever. We don't do all that stuff in order to be able to tell a story about some Black folks in the United States. Every now and then, we should be able to do other things as well. So, you know, that's my gist of it. You know, that's how I feel about it. Right now, they have 49 backers in their campaign, and they have 48 hours to go. That is 2 days left. All right. So they have 2 days left to get as much as they can. Me personally, I always go safe whenever I invest in any type of thing. So whenever I'm making a Kickstarter, I have a goal that's significantly less than what I would hope to achieve. Right. So what they have right now is they're past their goal, but I'm sure they're hoping they can get $10,000, right? And me personally, I told them when I was helping them develop their campaign, I said one of the things you got to do is reward the people who are supporting you. So how do you reward the people who are supporting you in this situation, right? How do you actually reward people, right, who are trying to invest in your property? And you know, they like comic books, they like digitals, but at the end of the day, right, they want something more tangible. Well, the thing that we decided to do was add portraits. So what happens is at the highest tier that we have on this campaign, right? And this is the highest tier. So don't get this. If you just want to throw $20 at the campaign, go right ahead. We love that. We want it as much as possible. $20 and out, great. But if you want to make an impact and actually be a part of his production, be a part of this forever, then what you want to do is become an executive producer. An executive producer tier, you get the executive producer title, but you also get a portrait of either you or somebody that you want to have a portrait of as a plaque at the end of the book with all the other executive producers. And it's a cartoon portrait of your actual self. All right. Now, when I did it in Black Sands, and I'm about to show you that example right now, let me show you real quick. When I did it for Black Sands, The Seven Kingdoms, this was basically the design that we did. All right. So you see this right here? These are some of my executive producers. These are the biggest people who helped us create issue 4, 5, and 6. And you see how we did their stuff, right? That looks pretty dope, right? That's in every single book of Black Sands, issue 4, 5, and 6, and Ultimate Volume 2 forever. So when that hits Barnes and Nobles, guess whose face is in there? Guess whose child is in that book forever? So 10, 20 years from now, when Black Sands becomes a $1 billion IP, you can say, hey, I was a part of this. I built this right here. This was me. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that's one of the most powerful things you can do for anybody who's investing in your property, to go and give them such an exquisite title and to give them actual pen. They can put whatever they want in the book. I personally think that's the dopest thing you could possibly give somebody, other than stock in their company, right? Shout out to my investors, right? But everybody can't start off with getting stock options. So what we're doing right now is we're giving you options to go and actually be a part of this forever. Solidify yourself in their books, cartoon portrait right in the back. You're going to love it. And you're going to be like, you can brag about it forever. You can be like, yo, check this out, man. This is a comic I support. Check it out right here. Look at this page right here. Look at that. I'm right there, man. I'm right there. I'm right there. You know, so that's one of the biggest things that we do in this campaign. I personally think it's amazing. Like I said, he signed with us already. He's exclusive to us next year when BSP is launched. All right. So he's one of us. He's not some guy that I'm just randomly supporting online. Right. He actually took the chance and said, yo, you guys are where the movement is. I want to be in that space. So what I'm saying is I've already paid him. I'm good with him. I done hooked him up already. I need you guys to go and drop them dimes on him too, because he deserves it. He really does. I mean, this is a beautiful stuff. You know, this is totally non-controversial. We've made our dues. We're going to probably distribute this in schools and everything, because these kids need this stuff, man. And I think it's important that we have our own high-quality productions for ourselves. If you need the link is in the description, all right? But if you need it again, I will post it. I guess I can post it. I don't know. Let me see if I can. Either way, it's on YouTube. It's definitely in the description. So whether you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, it's right there. The link is right there. Just if you can't look it up there, look up Macchiato on Kickstarter and you will find their campaign. They only have 2 days left, right?
Volume 2.
Yeah, 2 days left. Volume 1, Volume 2. You can lock those in. You can do whatever you want, 20, 200, I don't care. Just make sure you support and make sure you tell people that you supported it. All right, because we on a movement, man, and we need to get all the Black people who are creating quality content and working as a team. We need to reward them for that. All right, there's a lot of people out there who don't want to work with me simply because they're trying to be the king, right? Everybody wants to be the king, right? They don't care about numbers. They don't care about how much you did versus how much they did. All they care about is being the king, right? So they won't work together no matter how much you give them, no matter how nice the deal is. It doesn't matter, right? That's the kind of the American way, right? Everybody has to be the king. But at the end of the day, we have to bundle our resources together, right? And build something together, right? That's the only reason why you can check all those Instagram accounts right now. Go look at every single influencer, every single comic book creator out there on Instagram right now. I guarantee you, none of them have given you stock in their company. None of them. They don't believe in it like that. They just don't. We do. We give you stock. We give you options to own a piece. Not an IOU, not a, oh, look at this, oh, you helping us build Black Wall Street. None of that stuff. We straight up said, hey, we have a profitable company. Do you want a piece? All right, now we can make bigger things. That's how we need to be working together. We can't be donating to people who aren't turning back and giving back to us. So that's what we're doing. That's what Black Sands have been doing for years. That's what Macchiato's been doing for years. They just haven't got the cred yet, you know. And it's time for us to really put it down for them. Please give us the last word. Give us your biggest pitch for the series, because right now we've been talking about it from a creator, Black creator perspective. Tell us what the story is about, and then we can take it out.
Okay, so just base story. It's about five strangers in their early 20s who get drafted to be the heroes in another planet's war. But as time go on, they realize that they're not. They have a lot more in common than they realized. That they thought they were strangers, but their paths are interwoven in ways that they had no idea about before. And it's for audiences of all ages. There are powers and there are aliens and things of that nature. But it's a very emotionally driven story. It hits hard, and it hits a lot of audiences in a lot of different ways. So you're going to get a lot of action, but you're also getting a lot of good character arcs, character development, and everything you could want from a quality series. It's in there, I promise. And the first chapter, you can read it for free. Just go to the Kickstarter, check it out, and I'm sure you'll get hooked. You'll see what it's really about.
Yeah, one thing I'll say is it matters to give people, it just matters. And one thing that I always say is when you're giving people and you're saying, hey, support my stuff, you got to give them something so they can see what your stuff is about, right? You can't just say, hey, support my stuff because you don't know if it's good or not, whatever, right? You can go on Webtoons right now and check out his content, man. He has dope content on Webtoons right now. So you don't have to worry about whether it's trash or not. You can just go there and be like, man, this is kind of fire right here. I'm about to go ahead and support him. And I always believe that. Our company started off of a Kickstarter in which we released our first book for free right there. And they were like, yo, what happened? And I'm like, they're like, yo, you're gonna mess up your stuff. And I'm like, nah, man, they gotta understand that I'm the best. And if they don't understand, then they won't invest in me. So I can't give them a believe in me. Once I got your money, I'll give you the stuff. I was like, yo, here it is. Do you want to buy it? After you already consumed the whole product. Do you want to buy it? And they're like, yeah, I want to buy it because that was amazing. Now I have to support, right? I want more of these. So that's what we're doing. We're not buying your products. We're making sure that you keep making more products, because that's the game. The game is to keep making more and more and more until it becomes a damn avalanche. All right. So thank you guys so much. I put the links up in the comment section, right? So you can go there and support. Please, even $20. I don't care what you do. Even $20 is going to make a huge difference. Let's get to 100 backers on this campaign. We got 2 days left. We're going to do amazing things together. He's going to be part of us as Black Sands for the next couple of years. So, who knows what's going to come from this? Who really knows? He might be doing tours in your local school district one day, with the whole crew of cats and freaking new freaking Power Ranger sets, and them kids are gonna be losing their freaking minds. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's gonna happen. I just know that I got plans for everything. I'm not trying to be no little guy in this world. I'm trying to dominate. And one of the things I do is when somebody is creating something that is powerful, professional, right? And actually pretty consistent over a long period of time, I try to push that out because I ain't trying to make everything. I can't make everything. I can't deal with all that making 17 different books myself. I ain't no Tyler Perry. I ain't trying to be Tyler Perry. A writing room where it's just me, myself, and I'm making 50 movies a year, me, myself, and they all the same. I don't need that kind of drama. I want people who are capable of being their own entities and dominating by themselves. And this guy right here, Hotep Anthony, he is doing that. His team is doing that, and we got to support him. All right, 48 hours left. Click that link. Support them now. Thank you all so much for joining this conversation. Remember, when you buy Black Panther, you are putting dollars into white people's hands. That's just what you're doing. No matter how you cut it, Marvel is owned by a whole bunch of white executives, and our boy Stan Lee is gone. All right, Stan Lee was cool. He was one of us. The next in line don't give a damn about us. I'm telling you that right now. They were fighting him every 5 seconds for what he was talking about. They were like, nah, I don't think we need to do that right now. Stan Lee's like, man, just make it, man. Just make the damn thing, So I don't think we're gonna get too many bones thrown at us now that he's gone. So you got to understand that you need to start putting money into our community straight up. And we're gonna dominate. We're gonna dominate. We're gonna build our own platforms, and we're gonna finally take our piece of the market that we created. All right. Black people don't shop at the freaking comic book shops. We don't do that. We made that stuff hot at Barnes and Noble. We made that stuff hot at Walmart. We made anime freaking crazy in the United States with our skits and everything else on YouTube. We should own the space. We should own the space. We're putting all the marketing dollars into it. We should own the space. We shouldn't get a freaking skateboard with Goku on it as a reward for basically giving hundreds of thousands of dollars of sales to freaking Dragon Ball by doing skits for them. That shouldn't be the reward. It should be hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing. But that's what they get. They settle for a skateboard because Crunchyroll gave it to them. I don't care. I want my check. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get our check together. And you guys are owners in my company. If you're not an owner right now because you haven't gotten to the stock round, the next round's coming in 2 months. So you better be ready for that one. But we ain't stopping nothing. We are dominating nonstop. Let's move this ball. Black Sands out. Hotep, I'll holler at you a little bit later. I hope this campaign blows up because soldiers are on the prowl. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. I'm out.
Thanks again. See you.
See y'all later.